In this question from the chapter electricity, it says an electric heater of resistance 8 ohm draws 15 ampere of current from the service mains for 2 hours. And what we need to calculate is the rate at which heat is developed by the heater. Now let's write on the information. The first information that we have is the resistance here, and that is of 8 ohm. The next we have is the current, right? And how much current it draws? It is 15 ampere. Further, I can see the time given here, but time in hours, so that should be converted into seconds by multiplying with 3600 seconds. So now we have time as 7200 second. Now, once we have written the information, what we need to calculate is the rate at which heat is developed. Now, this is important. Now, it's we have to find the rate at which heat is developed and not heat, right? And that is important, that rate at which energy is dissipated, or the rate at which heat is dissipated or energy is used, is what? Power. So we'll be calculating power and not the heat. So we know that we have a direct relation, P is equal to I square R. So I can just plug in the value of I, which is 15 square, that is 15 into 15 into R, and this is 8. This is how much? 225, 15 square into 8. It should give you how much? 1800, and the unit should be watt. So this will be the answer for this question. In the next question, it says an electric iron consumes an energy at the rate of 220 watts. So it's not the energy. The rate at which energy is used is called power. So we are given power as 420 watt when the heating is at maximum rate, and 180 watt when the heating is at minimum. The voltage supply is given as 220 volt, and what we have to find out in number one is the current and the resistance in each case. So clearly we have two cases here. So let's take the case one on the one side and case two on the other side. So first we'll be writing the information that we have, and the information that we have, number one, is the power. So power in the first case is how much? So this is case one, and this side it is case two. So we have power as 420 watt. This is given as 420 watt. So this is 420 watt. Further, we know that the voltage supply in this case, V is equal to 220 volt. In the other case, the power, as I can see, is given as 180 watt, and the voltage has to be the same here. The same voltage are supplied in each case. So we have to calculate current in the first case. As I can see, we have to calculate I as current and also the resistance. These are the two things which we have to calculate in both cases. Now, first I'll be applying the relation, that is P is equal to VI, right? That is something that is very frequently used. So I'll first calculate here. We'll apply the relation P is equal to VI. So P is equal to VI. So we have to get power. So power is given. So I'll replace power with 420 as it is given. V is 220, that multiplied by I. So from here I can say I is equal to what? 420, that divided by 220. I can reduce it by 21, and this is 11. So I'll write 21 over 11 ampere in this case. Now, once we have got the current, then we can apply the relation derived from Ohm's law, that is V is equal to IR to get. So V is equal to IR. As you can see, we have to get R. So replacing V with the value which is 220, and that I with 21 over 11 multiplied by A, transposing this number, that is 220, right, 220 into 11, that divided by 21. So that will give you what we are calculating here is R, right? So R will come as this after simplification. Now the same thing you can apply in the second case, and you'll get the current. But in your exam, it is necessary to write them in the reduced form. This you should also write down in the reduced form in decimal. In the next question, it says 100 joule of heat is produced each second. That means in every 1 second. In a 4 ohm resistance, what we have to find is the potential difference across the resistor. So let's write down the information symbolically. We have heat produced given as 100 joule, and the time, as I can see, time is given as each second, that is 1 second, and the resistance here is 4 ohm. And what else we are given is what we have to calculate is this, that is voltage across it. So we have to calculate V. So there is one way we can do that. We can find using Joule's law of heating, which we can using Joule's law of heating. We, using this H is equal to I square RT, I can get what I, and then I can apply the Ohm's law. P is equal to, sorry, Ohm's law, that is V is equal to IR. Alternately, I can also find P is equal, using this, that is P is equal to V square by R. I can get voltage, right? And power is what? Power is energy upon time. So you have two methods here. There can be many, several methods, but you have a choice. What I'll go for the Joule's law of heating first. I'll apply this Joule's law of heating relation, which is replacing H with 100, and it is I is what we are looking for, and R is mentioned as 4 ohm, and the time is 1. So by cross multiplication, it comes out to be 100 over 4 is equal to I square. This is how much? I square comes out to be 25. So we get I here, that is the current, as 5 ampere. Now once we got 5, we can apply V from here. V is equal to IR. So we'll get V is equal to IR, and I is how much? 5 ampere, and the resistance, which is mentioned as 4. So the voltage supply is 20 volt. So this would be the answer in this case. In the next question, it says compute the heat generated. That means we have to find heat while transferring 96,000 coulomb of charge in 1 hour through a potential difference of 50 volt. So what you can see, that the information we have is to get heat when quantity of charge is given as how much? 96,000 coulomb, and time is 1 hour, which is 3600 second, and the voltage supply is how much? 50 volt. What we have to get is heat. So I can see that what comes to the student mind is H is equal to I square RT when they are asked to find heat. Well, we can go by this. In that case, you have to find first I, using this I is equal to what? Q by T. And then using this I obtained and V, you can get R and plug in the values to get this. I think we can do it in a shorter way, because that involves more calculation. So we know that if I have to do, let's say, if I have to get power, right? Sorry, energy. Energy is what? Energy is power into time. And what is P? I can replace P, right? P is what? P is equal to VI. So I can write this as VI. Power is P is equal to VI. I think you know that. Into T, VIT. Now, what you can see that IT, IT is what? Q is equal to IT. Q is equal to IT. So what I'll write here, let's say energy is energy, V is V. And once again, I mean to say that this is IT. So I can replace this IT as what? Q. Am I right? Because you know that Q is equal to IT. So now we have Q and we have V. So energy, energy, you may replace energy with H also. That's there. Here it is, the energy is in the form of heat, right? So I can say H is equal to VQ. V is how much? 50. And Q is how much? 96 followed by 3 zeros. So now check, 96 into 5 is 4800, or 480, sorry, and followed by 4 more 0. 1, 2, 3, 4. So now if I write in the standard form, it's 4.8 multiplied by 10 raised to the power 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 10 raised to the power 6 joule. Right, this would be the answer should be considered as a shorter way to do this question. The next question is says an electric iron which is of resistance 20 ohm takes a current of 5 ampere. What we need to calculate is the heat developed in 30 seconds. Right. So this should be very easy. I think it's a direct application of Ohm's law. Let's figure out. We have resistance R is equal to 20 ohm. We have current I is equal to 5 ampere, and the time given here is again in SI unit only 30 seconds. So as I said, yes, we can apply the Ohm's law. H is equal to what? Not Ohm's law, that's Joule's law of heating. H is equal to I square RT. So H is equal to I square. I is how much? 5. So 5 into 5. And the resistance, which is 20, and the time is 30. So it comes out to be how much? 5 into 5, 25 into 2, 50. 50 into 3 is 150. 25 into 2 is 50. 50 into 3 and followed by 2 more zeros. So it should come as 15,000 joule as the answer for this. In the next question, it says explain why tungsten is almost exclusively used for the filament of the electric bulb. So you can see in the figure, this is the filament of the electric bulb, right? This is the filament. So this filament is made up of tungsten. And why we use it in case of electric lamp? This is because this wire, the tungsten has extremely high melting point. I think it's 3380 degrees Celsius. So you know that when this bulb, when we switch it on, this filaments become very hot and starts to glow. And as I said, its temperature is melting point is very high and it does not melt. That's the reason why, because of the high melting point and its resistivity is also high. So therefore it glows on heating. Well, based on this, there is a one more question. It says why tungsten, uh, which is used in the bulb, is not used in the fuse wire. Well, there's a you know that in a case of a fuse wire, the wire which is present inside it have low melting point, right? Moderate to low melting point, we'll say that. And the purpose of this is that this filament breaks or it stops the supply of current and prevents the appliances from getting damaged if excessive current flows through it. So if it is made up of tungsten, then what will happen? It will never melt, right? And therefore, it will not do the purpose of acting as a safety device. So that should be the answer in this case.